go. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me here for another episode of the Spa Business Mastery Podcast. Um, my name is Kirsten Foss. If you have never met me before, I am a spa business coach and marketing strategist. And I've been in this industry for a really long time. It's coming up on 30 years. So I've seen a lot of the spa industry grow. I've been in it since really its infancy stage. And because I've been in this industry for so long, I've seen a lot, I've experienced a lot. And I too have been a spa owner that has struggled, and in particularly with this topic today that I'm talking about, I've struggled a lot with my spa money. Like many of you, our industry is fraught with owners that really find managing their money very overwhelming. And it's really no surprise because we didn't get into this industry because, we love finances. We got into this industry because we love serving others via spa services, whether that's manicures and pedicures or facials or waxing or spray tanning, however you decide you want to serve, that's what we got into the industry for. So money comes up a lot because, we're not in this business to volunteer as much as we would love to. We still have families that we need to support. And quite frankly, we want to earn money and good money because it helps us to feel like we are truly doing purposeful work. We're being financially rewarded for our purposeful work. So that's why there's often struggle and frustration with spa owners because we need money to keep our doors open. Yet we tend to have our head in the sand about our spa money. So, really that is my first point that I want to talk about is that it's just simply not a strength for most of us in the spa industry. It's something that has felt very difficult, feels very overwhelming. It's just easier to kind of not pay attention to it. And so because it is so overwhelming, it's just really easy to procrastinate doing anything with in terms of just kind of looking at our money, our metrics, our numbers, and doing anything with it. It's just much easier to go in the treatment room or go to the spa and manage our team and do all the things that we prefer to do rather than look at our numbers. But the fact is, we've got to there comes a time where you do have to clean up your money mess because you want to earn more. You're tired of the slog of, the grind of working. And, if you have a team, it's really common for the owners to be working their tail off really to support their team members' paychecks. So there definitely comes a moment where you're tired of working for nothing. You're tired of constantly scraping the bottom of the barrel of your bank account or even going into debt. And so what can you do to clean up your money mess? Now, a lot of you are probably going to be looking at your overall yearly numbers for 2020 about right now when it's time to pull up your numbers for get ready for taxes for next month to submit. Now, that is hugely problematic when we are only looking at our sales numbers and our metrics once a year because it doesn't give us any opportunity to course correct as something is going a little sideways if it is. So I have 3 points that I want to share with you today about how to clean up your money mess and earn more. And it all rotates around the concept of what you focus on grows. We've heard this many times, and it truly is a fact. Whatever we put our focus to grows. And I really love this particular little saying because it's across the board that when we apply this, it works. And you've seen it in action. When you apply your focus to, when you got into this industry, learning about aesthetics, getting your aesthetics license, you were super focused, super excited, and you just got down to business, learning. When you wanted to open up your first business, whether that was just as a little solo or you went right into a team kind of model, you probably were super focused at the very beginning and things got done. But what happens as we are working in our business, there's lots of other balls in the air. And it's not as easy to focus on the money because A, it's just not as fun, and B, because we're often not good at it. So, what I want you to hear is that you don't need to have bookkeeper training or accounting training. You don't need to have this intrinsic desire to look at your numbers and to make decisions on about it. If that doesn't come naturally to you, that is okay. What you can do to kind of have a little hack or work around that is simply just to commit to focusing on your money, on your metrics, on your numbers. So I have 3 commitments that I promise you are not overwhelming. Just think of them as 3 small, focused commitments that can make exponential change in your business, okay, when it comes to money. So, the first commitment that I would like you to consider taking is to track your metrics. Now, there's lots of metrics to track. We've got your service sales, your retail sales, your total sales. We have service to retail ratios. We have pre-booking ratios. We have average ticket. We have client retention. We have number of products sold. We have number of new clients coming into the business per month. So lots to track. But if you are totally new to tracking any metrics, just do yourself a favor and keep it really simple. Pull up a little spreadsheet, an Excel spreadsheet, or you can do this in Google Sheets, and simply create months along the top, January to December, and then simply just track your total sales, track your service sales, and then track your retail sales. You want to split up your service and your retail so that where you can apply growth strategies. So when I meet new coaching clients, this is a place that I'm asking from them at their intake. I want to know some of their basic metrics. I want to know service. I want to know retail. I want to know total service and retail. But it's so that I can take a peek at what they're doing for their service to retail ratio. Because I know that if it's on the low end, like if it's on the 15%, if their retail ratio is only around 15%, it means there's lots and lots and lots of opportunity to increase their retail sales without having to actually even book more appointments. Okay, so that's why you want to start with just breaking it down into the simplest bits to track total sales, service sales, retail sales. Now, if you're already tracking that and you just need a little bit of a nudge from me to say, come on, get back on track with tracking your metrics like a scorecard every single month, then, I would say definitely be tracking service, retail sales, total sales, then as well as your service to retail, average ticket, pre-booking, client retention, those kinds of metrics as well. So just make a promise to yourself. I'm going to track my metrics, however simple or more advanced that you want. I'm going to track them for 3 months. Just keep a small little goal and just make it habit. I would even go as far as saying track it weekly to get yourself in the habit of tracking and just paying attention. Now, at this point, if you're new to tracking your metrics, in these next 3 months, just track them. Don't try to make any decisions based on what you're seeing, because you just need to get into the habit of tracking them. At the end of the 3 months, then you can go into looking at kind of more strategically. But what you're going to notice is that there's some ebbs and flows that happen, and our business is seasonal. We also have ebbs and flows happening with what's happening in our cities, especially right now at the time of this recording. We're about a year into COVID. Some places are only just reopened. So, just take a look at and witness kind of the ebbs and flows and see if you can, think about what could perhaps be causing some of the ebbs and flows. Was it that you did more marketing? Was it that you didn't do your marketing? Was it just, is it normally a quiet time of year for you? Did you lose a team member and you guys are down people? And so the sales might be down a little bit. So, there's things that you can take a peek at to make sense of those metrics, but right now, just track them. Okay, number two, commit to making slower financial decisions. I've mentioned this before and in podcasts previous. Um, but it goes to, I feel like it needs repeating. And, it's really easy to get sucked into like a really great, exciting new product line or a new piece of technology or hiring a new team member. We really need to pay attention to why we are wanting to make that decision. Is it because we truly are busy enough and need to hire a new person? Is it truly that our skincare line has lots of holes and gaps in it, and we need another line to fill in those gaps? Maybe like a line that's like a peptide line or an acne line. So you want to kind of take a look at the decisions, the buying decisions you're making, and start kind of picking them apart a little bit before you get yourself all caught up in the hype of it, and then say yes and make these big purchases. Because if you are in the habit of making these fast decisions, sometimes these decisions are being based on ego. Like we like to and we want to see our business in a certain light. We want our business to be at a certain place where we are bringing on another skincare line or bringing on a new team member. But you can really get yourself into a lot of trouble if you can't afford to do those things. So, slowing down your financial decision making forces you to make more, have more, a little bit more critical thought and thinking around, can I actually afford this? I'm going to do some number crunching and play with a couple of scenarios to see if I actually can afford to do this. Or is it I'm just really excited and I want to bring it on and it sounds really cool and I think my clients will be really excited. A little caveat to this is I see a lot of spa owners buying new product lines, new pieces of technology, because they're hoping that those products or the tech will bring in a new type of client. That can be a slippery slope to get into. So just be very mindful about why you're making those decisions. Are they based on fact, and can you afford them? My third commitment that I would like you to consider to clean up your money mess is getting your bookkeeping done every month. Now, I know you're not a bookkeeper. I know you probably don't even like going into your QuickBooks. You might like to go into your QuickBooks and check out kind of where you're at, but I don't think I've met a single spa owner. I might have met one online who said she liked doing bookkeeping, but for the majority of us, we do not like doing, the kind of journal entries and all that kind of boring stuff. So, you are much more efficient. Hey, Delia, I just saw your FOMO comment. Yeah, it's totally about FOMO. You see other people like in other spas getting all this cool stuff and launching things, and recognize that is your ego wanting to get sucked into it. And your ego doesn't have to pay for stuff, so it's you that ends up having to pay for it. Anyways, back to bookkeeping. I highly encourage you to outsource your bookkeeping. It's far less expensive to hire somebody who is a bookkeeper. And you don't need to get an accountant to do your bookkeeping. You can hire a bookkeeper. They're less expensive than an accountant. In fact, a lot of accounting firms have bookkeepers to do those lower level tasks. There's lots of people in your community, I'm sure. I'm sure you know somebody who is a bookkeeper, maybe does it from home. So there's lots of opportunity for you to outsource it. That's not going to cost you an arm and a leg, but allows you to get your books done every single month so that you get all your paperwork to that person by the first week of the month for all the previous month. Give them a couple of weeks to work on it, and then they should be able to let you know when it's done. You can take a look at your profit and loss and at least know kind of right now where am I at, or a couple of weeks ago where I'm at. And the reason why is because you're able it's much easier to course correct when you're getting your bookkeeping done once a month rather than waiting until the end of the year and having your books done for taxes and realizing, oh my gosh, I really overspent. Oops. Or, oh my gosh, I totally forgot about the ebb and flows here and I didn't make as much, and darn, I should have actually, maybe started a little bit of a marketing campaign to kick things into gear for a slower time. So, we don't want to kind of kick ourselves after the fact. We want to be able to make these financial decisions much quicker so that we don't keep going, kind of keep circling the drain financially only to find out at the end of the year that, we had the sneaking suspicion that there was never enough money at the end of the month. But to see it at the end of the year can be kind of painful to look at and to realize, oh, I could have done something about this earlier. Hey, Lucy. You said, I delegate my bookkeeping now or it never gets done. It's true. Best decision I've ever made. Thanks to you, Kirsten. Oh, you're very welcome. If I can make your life easier because I've experienced it and, found an easier way, I'm happy to pass on those little tidbits. So, being an entrepreneur is a lot of work. Most of us have families and we also have other things we want to do in our lives. The spa is not the end all be all as much as we tend to get submerged into this completely. But, we want our business to not feel like such a burden. And when it's feeling like a burden, it's taking a lot of energy to worry and to, kind of do the flight of the bumblebee and figure out how am I going to, earn some more money. Nobody likes feeling like that. So I usually bring up this topic about cleaning up your money mess every year around this time because many, many spa owners are finally looking at their numbers because of taxes and just feeling really, really, really low and discouraged and overwhelmed and not knowing if it's actually worth to keep going because it just feels like such a slog. Paying attention to these 3 commitments, tracking your metrics, making slower financial decisions, and getting your bookkeeping done every month, it's the start of a healthy way to manage your money in your spa business. Hey, Katie, nice to see you here. All right, so money tends to be one of those things that people don't like to talk about, especially if you've got a money mess. And it's okay to be in a money mess. What's not okay is to stay in a money mess and know that you're in a money mess and still not do anything about it. So this really, you don't need to take a course or anything. This just needs some personal commitments to your business. I've got 3 of them for you here today. You don't even need to think about it yourself. You can just get started right away. All right, that is it for today's Spa Business Mastery podcast. If you have any questions about your spa money or how to actually figure the bigger picture out with your spa, I absolutely encourage you to reach out to me. You can either email me at kirsten@kirstenvoss.com, or you can find me on social, whether it's Facebook or Instagram, and you can send me a DM. And I'd love to chat with you about your spa money because I'd love to help you turn it around. All right, that's it for me. We're all done. We'll see you next week.